represented by not one person in management, not one decision maker from that town.
Tells you that racial profiling is not only racist, we know that that's redundant.
You cannot assume that somebody thinks something of you or is treating you a certain way because of your scar, because they may not even see that. They may not be perceiving you that way at all.
If I don't know what black folks experience, what Latinos experience, what Asian folk experience, what Native North American folk experience, what Arab Americans experience, if I don't understand what peoples of color experience, nothing happens to me.
What is diversity? What is culture? What is race?
How can we make a difference for young people in talking about, thinking about, and improving the character of race relations among young people here in the Detroit region?
My hope is that, we will be the national model for Conversations on Race series, across the nation.
We think the university ought to be and can be a part of the solution to some of these problems, and that we ought to start at home.
We say at New Detroit that relationships first, issues second. The way to get to know one another is to sit down and have candid conversations about the things that you have that are in common, but also the things that are different.
Quite a number of these conversations have involved breaking down into smaller groups in separate rooms or at separate tables, and then continuing the conversation among 10 or 15 people.
Each conversation on race should go in with the mindset of changing attitudes. This year, one of the things that I've instituted is a before and after. So participants will come into the conversation on race, and they will write down what their thoughts are before the conversation and then what their thoughts are after the conversation.
This is one of the areas where New Detroit has been so helpful. New Detroit has something like 45 years of history in dealing with tough issues of race and race relations. And so they were able to offer us a lot of great advice about how to get these conversations going.
Conversations on Race started at New Detroit about 6 years ago, where we brought together the members of our board of directors who really constitute the leaders in business, and the nonprofit, the healthcare, and the university community from around the region.
I love these types of conversations.
I do too, and they're good, especially on college campuses. I'm glad we have them.
I think that this is sad, but I think that there is a perception that we have that one life is more valuable than the
Yes.
other.
A lot of those arguments used are the exact same arguments that were used against interracial marriage.
Oh my God.
And if we, it was only
Bigotry? But go ahead, we're not
it
gonna
was
say
only
that.
40 years ago that
Yeah.
the Loving versus Virginia decision came down.
Marriage is between a man and a woman.
Oh Lord. Okay.
For
Who
the
says?
benefit of society, for the benefit of the children. That's the way it has been.
Benefit of whose children?
The children in the community.
I have the impression, and I wonder if I'm correct, that the print media have better representation of various cultural groups.
They do.
It can get emotionally charged at times, especially if someone feels very deeply about a specific topic or feels very strongly about their particular culture or their race. A lot of times students are challenged because they've never had to think about a specific topic, or they never had that conversation about race. They gain an understanding about, something that they weren't taught in school.
I think UM-Dearborn can be in the front by honestly and straightforwardly addressing the issues of race and racism, and then coming up with some solutions that work better for the next generation.
My hope and dream is that this particular program will be a model for the nation. When you talk about conversation on race, a lot of people talk about it, but University of Michigan-Dearborn is actually doing something about it.
My dream for race relations is that one day we will focus on those things that are similar about us, as well as those things that are different about us, and not let them be obstacles in dealing with the issues that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
I'm in this skin, but I'm not of this skin. Okay? I am made of more than that and better stuff than that.
If nobody ever drives by there and sees normal people getting gas and going to the grocery store and walking their children to school and planting flowers, maybe you don't think they plant flowers and go to the grocery store. Maybe you think they only shoot people, because that's the only thing you hear on the police scanner, because that's sure the what only shows up on television, right?